Okay, so I just saw Turning Red, and like I usually do, I went on YouTube to hear out other people's opinions. Luckily for me, there were two people that I quite like and respect who had made their patented animated movie reaction slash reviews. Those were Ellis Mark and Schaffrillas Productions. Now, after watching their videos, I think their opinions undermined a whole lot of the underlying messages that the story is trying to give. More specifically, the panda metaphor. I think these guys are just plain wrong and they don't look at it enough. Especially Shea Frillis, who complains about the movie being too boring. And then he doesn't even talk about any of the depth.
Yes, this is a very not-so-subtle metaphor for puberty.
This movie tries to equate periods to turning into a giant red panda, and the metaphor briefly works, but then falls apart since it's only happening to May, not other girls. And it's a mystical ancient blessing that she can just permanently banish. So, I don't know, it's not really the same thing.
Wow, so he kind of just goes in and says why the metaphor doesn't work, and instead of trying to figure out what the metaphor actually is, he just says, I don't know, which is, to me, just super lazy. But let's go ahead and use his groundwork. He did a really good job of setting some arguments down on why it is not a metaphor for a period or for puberty. And let's go ahead and figure out what it's actually a metaphor for. So firstly, why did the director choose, out of all animals, a red panda? Well, if you look at the symbolism of a red panda, it usually is associated with gentleness, compromise, and patience. The latter two, I think, are very important to the theme of the story: compromise and patience. So now let's go ahead and look at what the movie actually gives us. So we can start off with what Schaffrillas kind of kickstarted us off with, which is that it only happens to May and her family. The second thing is that it's an ancient blessing passed down from, generation to generation. Well, something that is exclusive to our family and is a blessing that has been passed down from generation to generation is our natural instincts and desires. Our instincts that are often wild, almost like a big red panda. The big and sometimes scary look of the panda symbolizes how the Lee family view their instincts to get wild. The absolute suppression of their instincts is shown to be bad through May's mother. She's insane. I mean, she brings pads and tries to get him to May through the window. She's absolutely not self-aware by any means. She's like the least self-aware person you've ever seen in your life. She's also an ass to her husband.
Ready? No sugar. Over. Right, Chin? See? Your father agrees. What was that? Am I the only one who sees the...
I like the dad character.
And has a terrible relationship with her mom.
like that?
May, it's your mother.
I'm not here.
We see that when May embraces her panda, she finds a more true version of herself that is a people person and is the life of the party, and she brings everyone together at the party. The movie ends with a lesson on compromising these feelings and finding a balance, shown through May no longer needing to hide her earrings with her mother, and her mother being able to play video games and let her leave in the afternoon with her friends.